Looks like, excuse me, looks like I forgot to make this unlisted. So welcome everyone who's here. Thank you for joining me. This was supposed to be a little private meeting. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to talk about nose construction. And then after this video, I'll go back into the Inner Circle Discord for those of you watching, and we can chat over there. So let's begin. Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about nose construction and specifically how I practice. How I practice nose construction. And maybe I'll do this a little bit here. We'll move this guy here. How I practice. And nose construction. And I'm going to show you some very beginner-friendly exercises. So these are great if you're just learning head drawing. Maybe you're just discovered me and you want to learn how to draw like me, or you want to learn how to draw in a more realistic way. Maybe you saw some other videos, or maybe you saw some Loomis books and you're like, I want to learn how to draw like that. Or maybe you've been drawing for a while and um, you can draw eyes and mouths pretty well, or you can draw faces well, but your noses seem a little off. So I'll just share with you some of the exercises that I did to help me draw noses really well, and specifically with the construction, because construction is really the first step of my process. If you're not familiar, I have a 1D to 2D or 1D to 3D process. So basically, if we're drawing a nose, it looks like that. 1D to 2D, excuse me. Then it looks like that. Then it looks like that. And then eventually we add lighting. So that's basically how we approach things, and this is more of an academic, realistic way. And so we're going to focus on this side of the equation over here, because without this, we can't move forward to this stuff. Everybody wants to get to the shading and the fun stuff, but we can't get there unless we draw and construct everything accurately and it looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some very simple exercises. We're going to start with what I call the easy mode warm-up. It says warm-up. And then we're going to do a master's study, particularly a tracing. And then we're going to do use tracing of rhythms and planes. Tracing of the rhythms and planes. And so let's begin here. So let's start with some warm-ups, and I call them easy mode warm-ups. Can you see that okay? Easy mode. And easy mode really for me is choosing the right reference. And when you're choosing reference, you want to get, or when you're shooting your own model, or when let's say you have a plaster cast and you want to light it, you want to use academic light. Number one, academic light, which means one light source, and typically it has clear shadow, so very clear shadow, and a clear border. That's really important. And also what's very easy, or what makes drawing the nose in easy mode, if you can get what's called Rembrandt lighting, which is 3/4 portrait lighting, and typically that means lights from above and to the right or to the left. And you see the light here is from the upper right. It's above him and slightly to the right so that we get that nice, crisp, clean light and shadow pattern on his nose. You see, that's what we're looking for. You see, we have a clear shadow on his nose and a clear highlight. And those are all indications of the form and structure of the nose. You see? You see that clear and easy highlight, that clear and easy to see shadow, and that clear and easy to see border. That's the light we want. So that's easy mode light. And then to make it even easier, now this is for beginners. Remember, this is if you're new and starting out and you want to learn this stuff, you want to learn to draw like me, or you want to learn to draw like Loomis or whatever. I also, when I first started learning this stuff, I chose easy mode subject matter, meaning I chose models and reference and photos and things that had clear, easy noses. So typically, I call that idealized faces. Idealized basically means handsome. Handsome model type faces. Handsome men, beautiful women, basically. And and in general, you want to choose European type bone structure. European, Anglo-Saxon, European bone structures, specifically for noses, because they have very generally clear and boxy noses relative to ethnic cultures. For example, like me, I'm Filipino. I'm Southeast Asian. If you guys ever seen my face, I would not want to draw my own nose. I have a round Asian nose. It's hard to draw, in my opinion. So European, Anglo-Saxon bone structures, they're very boxy, like our friend here. Look how clear and boxy his nose is. That's just something that I did. You don't have to draw white people, okay, if you don't want to. But I'm just saying, that's easy mode because everything's clear. Clear light, clear planes means clear, 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 clear. And if things are clear, that means we have an easier chance to win, my friends. So we want to win. In the beginning, we want to win. When we're starting out, we need wins. When you're beginning at this stuff is hard. Drawing realistically is hard, so we need to stack up as many wins as we can get. So we want to get clear, easy light, easy faces, gives us a chance to win. So let's go. Let's do warm up. And for warm up, we're just going to do anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. So warm up. A warm up sketch. Anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. Really, the time doesn't matter. And relatively small. Relatively small. I would recommend pencil. But I'm going to use pen today. And it's just to warm up. So just get your hand moving. And so you can also, it's also good to practice and review what you know. So this is where you will see where you are at. So if you keep practicing, you keep improving, 6 months down the road, 1 year down the road, you can look back at your sketchbook and go, oh my God, I've gotten a lot better. So just practice what you know. Just warm up. The key is warm up. That's all it is. No pressure. And I'm just going to use ordinary paper. Doesn't have to be fancy. And let's start with our friend here. This is this young man here with his clear, beautiful nose. So let's just get started, my friends. So relatively small, 1 to 2 minute. I'm using a pen here. And what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to warm up. And we're going to practice noses, but I like to get the whole face. I typically draw features together at once. I don't like to draw features in isolation. So I'm just going to go through construction, just warming up, just moving my hand, just getting a feel for things, doing the best I can. Whatever level you're at, you can all sketch. This is just part of the process. And maybe if you like my work or you like this style of drawing, the more academic style, realistic style, American illustrative style, whatever. Okay, so that we got that. Now I'm going to try to draw his nose. Focus on the nose. So I got everything in order. Going to make sure that, see, already his lips are too low. You can see that. And we're just warming up, nothing serious here. I'm not going to draw the eyes, but just focusing on the nose. But I like to have, for me personally, I like to see the other clues. Because what I do is I compare. I draw the nostril and I go, okay, how does this nostril relate to the mouth? How does this nostril compare to this eyebrow? How does this ball of the nose compare to the mouth? How does the ball of the nose compare to the keystone? You see some, I, I, I need as much, I always compare the features to each other. So I'm going like, I'm drawing the nose, but I'm looking here. I'm drawing the nose, but I'm looking here. I'm drawing the nose, I'm looking here. So that's why you may see me jump around, even though I'm really only doing a nose study. That's just the way I work. And then just for fun, since I'm advanced, now you may not be advanced if you're watching this. You may not understand shading that well, or you may be new. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to draw the highlight there. Add some shading. So this is the sexy part. Now this is a warm up. You don't have to do that for your warm up. I just wanted to show you. Once you get a bit more advanced, because I know those of you watching are going to ask me anyway. You'd be like, Chris, how do I do that shading stuff that you do? It's so cool. Okay, so that's a nice warm up right there. Let's do another easy mode warm up here. Easy mode warm up. Let's see, where can we go here? Let's put this over here. All right, another easy. I'm going to use a blue pencil this time. Got a blue pencil here. Another easy mode warm up. So we're just going to focus on the nose. Remember, 2 to 5 minutes, relatively small. You don't need shading. And this is a construction type of warm-up. We're just practicing construction. Now, if you're more advanced, you're going to get faster or whatever. You can do more. But for the beginners out there or the brand new folks, welcome. Just do the best you can. And really, the thing about this too is that it's it's for me, sketching is a part of life. So you kind of want to get in the habit of sketching anyway, and then you also want to get in the habit of kind of not caring. If you, I know a lot of people watching. They really really care and they want to do nice work, but sometimes you can't always do the nice work, especially if you don't have the knowledge or the experience or the skill to do to execute the type of drawings you want. So I already messed up there. I messed up the tilt. That's why I erased. I know it's a warm-up, but the position was wrong. So if the position is wrong, then we're in trouble. We are in trouble. We cannot have that. That is a fundamental error that cannot be overlooked there. I'm taking my best guess at simplifying the angle of her nose. And just like you saw earlier, now I'm going to try to draw her nose with the information that I have. I may need more information or less, but we'll see what we can get here. And again, you see the very clear, see the clear highlight on her nose right here? That's the corner of the box. That's that very important corner we need to get the nose to read right. I'm just going to drop, I'm not going to draw her lips, but I'm going to do a simplified lip construction just so I could see what's going on with the rest of the nose. So I need the lips to get the chin right, chin and jaw. I need the chin and jaw so I can compare it to the nose. So it's all relative to me. I don't like to draw features in isolation. I like to see the whole orchestra of things. Okay, so now I can take a look at this nose relative to the information that I have. I feel pretty good. I think as a warm-up, it's pretty good. And let's just see if there's any more information that I can add to make my nose better. Make my nose clear. How am I doing here? A little bit of shadow here. So I think relative to what I have as a little nose study, this is pretty good. Let's see if there's anything I could do to make it more clear. Not really. We need some tone now to make that corner read. But other than that, as a nose study, we're pretty good. This would be the hard highlight right there. That hard highlights the corner of the ball of her nose. Okay, so that's a nice little warm up there. Sorry, it's a little low. Now let's move on to the next exercise. Okay, this next exercise is a master study after Bern Hogarth. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take a Bern Hogarth diagram. This is from his book, How to Draw Heads by Bern Hogarth. If you're not familiar, the name is Bern, or he's famous for the dynamic book series, dynamic heads and faces, something like that. I forgot the name of the book. But what's good about doing master copies is it kind of gives you a model. A model. A model is something that you can, it's also known as a compass in American English. It's a thing that kind of grounds you. It gives you something that it's like a base, a foundation. It's a thing that kind of grounds you and kind of gives you a starting point. There you go. That's the right word. That's an easy English definition. Starting point. A model is a starting point to start drawing a thing. And for me, my first model for drawing faces was Bern Hogarth. When I was actually born in the Philippines. When I first came to America many years ago, I remember going for the first time into the American shopping mall, which was a wondrous thing back in the day, many years ago. America had these big old shopping malls, and they were like, it was a very new thing. And in these shopping malls, they had bookstores. And I remember the first time I walked into a shopping mall, I passed by the bookstore, and the bookstore out front they had a big display of art books, comic books, how to draw comics, and one of the books that they had on display to attract, obviously to attract young kids who wanted to draw comic books like me, was this book Bern Hogarth's Dynamic Anatomy, and I'll never forget the day that I believe I was 6 years old. I was, just brand new to America. I've never been to a bookstore in my life. I had never seen an art book in my life. And I remember opening this book and looking through the diagrams. And I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was so excited. I was like, I didn't know you could draw like that. That was the feeling. So for me, Bern Hogarth was my very first model. He was my very first concept of how to draw something. So let's take this lovely diagram from his book. I would recommend you copy all his books. And this is two of his most very basic, very beginner friendly nose construction diagrams. So I would copy both of these, and I'm going to show you how I would copy this diagram to get a lot of really nice practice. Let's see if I can do this over here. It's better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to try my best to do this on paper. My printer died this morning, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, I'm going to try to grab the guidelines just so I get the basic proportion down. Because this is a, like I said this before, it's a very beginner friendly exercise. So this is the cheek line. And then I'm just going to try to, my best to draw the center of the face. You see this line right here? And it's just try to draw the center of the face. Because what I want is, I want to start building the thing. So this is the top there. This is the top there. This is the top there. I need to put the keystone somewhere. That's the keystone right there. And I'm just going to do my best to copy the diagram. And these guidelines really help me to get accurate. So right now I'm just going to put some shapes down. See if I can get some pretty accurate shapes. I'm already starting to not be accurate. I don't know what's going on here. So that's the bottom of the nose right there. That's the top line of the nose right there. So, and that's the angle. So I'm going to try to follow that angle. You see how I'm tracing like this? So that helps me to get the angle, because this angle is super important. So I go like that, and then whoosh. Again, find this angle. This angle is slightly different. Then find this angle. Now I get a pretty nice nose construction, very basic. But this looks basic, but if we get this wrong, if this does, we can't do this, we can't do anything else. I can't stress this enough, because I've been teaching so long, guys. I don't know if you're new to me. My name is Chris. I'm a professional artist. I worked in video games for many years. Now working in movie posters. And I wrote a couple books on drawing. And I've taught at some of the top schools in America. And I've been teaching, over 10 years now. I forget now. That's how long it's been. And I've been teaching so long that I see the same mistakes or sticking points or struggles or over and over and over again. And one of them is that a lot of beginner students can't even draw this correctly. If you can't draw this correctly, well, you know, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be in trouble. We can't move forward. This is the basics of the basics. So we gotta have a progression in life. We gotta have a progression in life. So here's a nice rhythm. I draw this rhythm a lot. I don't need this rhythm, but I want it because it's part of the exercise. You see that? So I practice the rhythm. And here it is again on this side. So you'll see me draw this rhythm a lot if you pay attention. If you watch my videos, you'll see me draw that rhythm a lot. And there it is. There you go. And then, so now we can try to add some tone just so we could see what's going on. Because what I really want is what I really want is this. I want this, and I want this corner. So there you go. There you go. There you go. Look at that. It's a nice little copy so far. So this is what I did, guys. This is literally what I did when I was 10 years old, 12 years old. This is what I did. This is what I did. So now, that's why when you see me draw, you see me draw this block nose a lot. I believe this diagram is burned into my memory. You see me draw this block nose all the time. So this diagram is burned in my memory. So that's a nice beginner-friendly way to do a master copy. And I like Bernd Hogarth as a model. You can choose someone else, but I personally like Bernd Hogarth. And there you go. So now we have a nice block nose copy. Let's move on to the next exercise here. I think we need Procreate to do this. Okay, let's do this in Procreate. Yeah, we're gonna have to use the Procreate here. Where's my pencil? Where's my little pen? Okay. This one. Oops. Oh man, this thing is super low res. Wow, res is this so low? Oh, jeez. Anyways, do the best I can. I normally do this on paper, but my printer died today. So I don't like. I normally, okay. Okay, what we're gonna do now is a rhythm and planes tracing exercise. We'll do a couple different levels, and we're just gonna focus on the nose because part of my drawing philosophy, drawing method, is to construct the nose using rhythms and planes. So I have a rhythm and plane model. It's in my courses, it's in my free content. So I'm just going to review that a bit. So you're going to see me go through my rhythm and plane model, and we're going to trace it over photograph. And I normally do this on paper. I just print out the reference and use tracing paper or vellum or whatever. But today my printer died, so I'm using my little iPad here. I prefer to use paper, but I know many people like iPads and digital. So, what are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do here? Okay, so let's build this out. So, what are the things that I need when I trace? Is I need center line. So, looking at this, corner of the eye, 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 corner of the eye. And it's gonna wrap a little bit. So that's center line. Horizontal center. Vertical center is easy. So that's easy, we got that. Rule of thirds. Next, her hairline, I can't see it, so I'm gonna guess it's right there. Brow line we can see, right there. Bottom of the nose we can see, we definitely need that. Oops. We definitely need that. Center of the mouth we can see. Corner to corner to center. She's doing a slight smile, so that's an approximation. Bottom we can easily see. We can easily see the spheres of her eyes. So the eyeball. So this is very important. Now, one thing I like about tracing is it definitely helps you with proportion. So you see, as I'm drawing this, as I'm tracing her eyeball, I don't just blindly, mindlessly trace it. I'm going, I'm noticing the proportion. I'm like, oh, look at that. If the brow line is here and the eyeball is here, okay. See, you see, I'm starting to get a feel for the proportion. I'm not just blindly doing this exercise. I'm thinking, going, and as I'm moving my hand, my muscle memory is improving. So I go, Look at that relationship. Oh, look at that relationship between the eyes. Oh, look at that relationship. See, I'm getting a feeling for the proportions by doing this tracing exercise. So that's what I do. I'm always thinking. I never just blindly, mindlessly draw things or do exercises. I'm constantly thinking. What's going on here? What am I doing? What do I notice? What do I notice? Center of the eye, it's important. And I'll show you in a minute. Tear duct is important because that will give us an approximation for the side of the nose. So now we have a nice tracing here. Let's put this over here. And let's see. So can we see the side plane? Well, we can see the keystone very clearly. We can see the end of the keystone pretty clearly. It's a bit of tone here. The highlight starts here, so I know that line is where it is. And if you study the skull, you should know the skull as well. You'll know where. If you draw enough skulls, you'll know where that point is. On the side, it'll look like that. That's your skull right there. That's what we're looking for. And then, so what about the box of the nose? Remember we just drew this guy? Remember we just drew this guy. Now I picked this diagram for a reason, because this diagram to me is the bread and butter of my entire nose drawing universe. If I can get this right, I can draw noses pretty well. Uh, draw 3D noses pretty well. What do I need? I need to know the front, the side, the bottom, the top corner, and the side corner. I need these corners. I need these corners. I need these corners. I need this corner. Where is that corner? How do we see it? What's going on, Chris? Well, we have a clear light and shadow border right there. You see it? It's shadow and it's light. Guess what? Boom. Boom. And you see the corner of that nose, the ball of her nose, and then it goes into, it's light, shadow, light, shadow, light, shadow. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. And what about on this side, Chris? There's halftone there. I can see it, but if you can't see it, it's not quite clear yet to you. What you can see is the highlight. That should be pretty obvious. And you know that that goes like that. And then there's a little bit of tone here. There's a little bit of halftone here. It's easy. Light halftone, so that's the corner. And then down here, the nose, the ball of the nose goes up and then turns down. You should be able to see that. And then boom. So there's my corner. And there it is. That's the bottom plane. And then just to trace the lips. And then now I can kind of feel what's going on. I also want to line up the cheeks. We don't really need the cheek line. I just want to put that there. So now I can kind of feel the distance. You see, oh, I can feel the size of the eye relative to the socket. I can feel the size of the nostril and the nose relative to the eyes. I can feel the distance of the lip relative to the bottom of the nose. You see? So I'm constantly thinking and I'm memorizing this feeling, this sense, this muscle memory, this distance, this relationship. I'm looking at this relationship and I'm thinking, all right, this relationship is probably going to be pretty accurate because we're tracing over a photo. Now, of course, there's camera distortion, so you have to keep that in mind. This one does not have camera distortion. Some images do have camera distortion, so you have to know a little bit about photography, but this one particularly doesn't. So, but basically, because we want realism and because we're using technology here, we're using photography to be able to trace the realistic proportions. Now I have some proportions I can memorize. So I'm memorizing these proportions as I draw. So don't just mindlessly copy and go, Loomis, copy. I'm thinking, okay, look at that distance. Look at that distance. Let me memorize that distance. Oh, remember that center line? Why is that important? Oh yeah, that center line will help me to lead to the mouth, to the corner of the mouth. Look at that. So this one's with a bit of an angle. This one's a little bit more straight. Look at that distance. Let me feel that distance from there to there, from the bottom of the nose to the top of the lip. Let me feel that, let me memorize that distance. From the bottom of the nose to the bottom of the chin. From the center of the mouth to the bottom of the chin. So, yes, we're doing noses today, but like I said, I draw all the features together as a unit. But you can see that's pretty good. Now, let's do level 2 of this exercise. Oops. Let's turn it blue. Can we turn it blue? Let's do hue. We'll make this thing blue. Okay, that's good enough. And I'm going to move it over. This is it's a little strange for me, to be honest, because I'm much more comfortable doing this on paper. Okay, so let's take what we just drew, our little nose thingy. And now we have guidelines here, so that will help us to do this. Okay, so now I can do a nose study with the little guidelines that I have. So this is a progression. So this is level 2 of that same exercise. I'm going to take the tracing that I did, and I'm going to do a drawing on top of my tracing with the reference in mind. And I'm going to try to do exactly what I did, but now I'm going to use the tracing as a guideline, looking at the reference. See, now I am memorizing even more these proportions and planes and rhythms. Now I'm getting even more memorization practice. Even more, I'm really refining my model of the world, of realism here. Just keep practicing my things to help me build my model, help me refine what I'm doing here. And just want to draw the nose. Let's focus on the nose for now. And then, so now I got my nose pretty good. I feel at a pretty good place with it. Let me see if I can start to draw a bit more detail of what I see, because we're pretty much done here. And fortunately my thing is so low res. Let's see. So let me get a little bit of tone so we can see some of that thing. Maybe this will work. Maybe this will work. I don't know. Oop. So big. Yeah. Oops. So dark. What I'm trying to do is trying to make the highlight clear so you can see it. We can practice the corner, because what we really want is the corner. This. We really want to just really get good at this. This is you know, it looks so basic and easy, but believe me, I have been teaching for over 10 years, and you not believe how many noses I see who don't even look this clear. We basically want this. The clear, 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 boxy and clear. That's really what I'm doing. I'm trying to draw this box in an organic way, or I'm trying to draw an organic thing in a boxy way. Whatever. Clear, 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 boxy, clear, simple, boxy, clear, simple, boxy, clear. So don't underestimate this, especially if you're new. If you're new, I know you're going to do this. If you're a little bit more advanced, um, you know, you may want to go backwards a bit and do some beginner exercises if your constructions don't look good, if your proportions don't look good, if your placements don't look good, and especially if you're doing more difficult positions. So right now we're doing a very easy position. The front is easy. We haven't even touched on the difficult nose positions, right? Looking up, looking down. So that's a whole other problem. So if you are struggling with that, then you may want to go back to more. And that is an ugly highlight. Oh my God. Sorry, I wasn't. I don't use Procreate that much, to be honest. There you go. It's more subtle. It's more subtle. Let's take these construction lines off. They're really ugly. And there you go. So that's a decent little nose thing. It's okay. But you see how using the guidelines really helped, and how we use tracing as a tool to help us get accurate proportions and to help us see the corner. Corner, 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 corner. Corner, 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 corner. So I hope you have some ideas here. This is a good stopping point. Thank you for joining me today. Obviously, what I would recommend is let's just quickly review. Okay, so warming up, easy mode, warm-ups. I would fill 2 pages in my sketchbook a day. These shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes. Fill 1 page, 2 page, whatever you have time for. I would say 2, whatever. Obviously, you know how many you need to do. You don't need me to tell you. I would fill 2. That's what I would do. 2 pages. The Hogarth. We need a model. Hogarth's my model. I would copy all of his diagrams, at least 2 diagrams a day, depending on how detailed you get them and how difficult they are for you. So yeah, probably if you're a beginner, 1 diagram a day should take a bit of your time. If you're kind of new, you could do 2 diagrams a day. And this is an easy diagram. I would definitely do at least these 2 diagrams, and then move on to his more complex nose diagrams for this particular example. So 2 diagrams a day. Tracing exercise, I would do 2 a day, at least 1 a day, 2 a day, 3 a day, 4 a day. Depends on where you are. If you're new, I would do 2 a day, and then choose different, obviously choose different views, and then I would do 2 of these a day. Where did it go? Remember this exercise? We did this. So then take your tracing and then do a study using your tracing to help you guide your proportions. And I would do 2 of these a day until you get more advanced. Most likely, you won't need to do this if you know if these exercises resonate with you, if the way that I teach resonates with you, and if you if you go through these and you get results, you probably won't need to be doing them that long, but it really doesn't matter how long you do. Just you'll know. You should be able to look at these and be like, oh wow, they look good. And of course, if you're not sure where you're at, it's good to get feedback. So you can always reach out to me. I have several ways where you can get feedback from me if you like my teaching and things like that. But otherwise, it's a good stopping point. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you in Inner Circle, I'm going to jump into the Discord. Sorry I made this public. I didn't mean to make this public, but thank you. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. For the Inner Circle, please join me in the Discord. In fact, I'm going to open it now. I'm going to jump in the Discord now. For those of you watching on YouTube, thank you. I appreciate you. Happy New Year, everyone. Inner Circle folks here. I'm going to open the room, make sure it's open. Discord starting up. So go into the Discord. Where is it at here? I'm going to go into Discord's classroom. I'll be in there. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.